Well, it's swimsuit season, that dreaded time of year where we think about family vacations if you can go on one, and you think, oh my goodness, I don't know if my swimsuit is going to last another year, because it seems to be one of those items that we just don't buy often. It's kind of like our bathing suits have to last us 5 years or something like that, but that's simply not true. I would say that if you go to the pool or to the beach on a regular basis, then you need to buy probably more than one bathing suit each season, unless last year's suit is still in perfectly fine condition. But our bodies change, we change, our tastes change, and styles change. And so I just thought that what a perfect opportunity for June to kick it off with a video about bathing suits. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna line this video up with, first of all, my ground rules, like what I really think is important for you before you head off to the store to get a new suit. And I think most stores are open, so just know that, and most of them should have their swimsuits in by now. And if you have to do this online, you can apply some of these rules, especially the style rules that I give you based on your body shape. And so I'm gonna do this video in kind of two parts. Number one, I'm gonna give you my ground rules for when you're heading off to the mall to get a suit. And then the second is what to look for based on your body shape. The first ground rule that I want to give you is that I want you to do a little research ahead of time and decide where it is that you're actually going to go to look for bathing suits. And so I know right now we're in Corona, and so I'm going to do this so this is kind of more of an evergreen video. So if you're watching this next year and we're not in Corona, then the tips that I'm going to give you are still going to work. All right? And so I want you to research ahead of time where you're going to go. Go to a store that has a greater selection than possibly somewhere like a discounted store. All right, so I would head off to a department store or somewhere that you know that has lots of bathing suits. Usually it's department store where I go. They have a better selection and they have suits that fit all body shapes and all sizes. So depending on what size you are, that's just a really great place to start. Also, give yourself plenty of time. Don't think that you're going to find a suit the first, like that in that first store that you go to, and you pick up this first suit and you're going to only try that suit on. It doesn't really work that way. And so decide ahead of time what you're going to be looking for. And in my tips in the second part of this, you're going to know what those are. But then go to the store and give yourself plenty of time. I would say don't take kids along if you've got kids. It's not a place for kids because you might need to like squirm in a suit, and mommy might, not mommy, one of your kids might yell out, mommy, that looks great, or mommy, that looks bad, or whatever. You don't need their opinions on this shopping trip. And so when you pick up the items, and I would say take as many items into the dressing room that the store will allow you. So if they let you take 12 things in, take 12 things in. Because the worst thing is getting to a store and undressing, putting on the suit or the suits that you think you like, then getting your clothes back on, then going back out. And look, I'm already making you tired. I'm making myself tired just saying it. So just plan on being in one store for the amount of time that you have, okay? But have an extended period, but bring as many things into the dressing room as possible. The other thing I would say is, let's say they don't allow you to take more than 6 things in, then get all of your selection, even if it's 12 or 15, and then hang them on the rack and ask the lady to hold them for you. And when you're ready, say, can you bring those to me? Holler out, get help on that. And don't put all your clothes back on. Just maybe bring in a cover up also. And so look, make sure that you take that into the dressing room with you. So if you have to put a cover up on to go hang the clothes back up, on the rack they have in the dressing room, then you can take your next options and go and try them on. All right, the other thing is, please wear teeny tiny underwear when you go. And so, you hear my cat, they're on every video. And so wear teeny tiny underwear. You don't want to have like the granny panties on and you put your bathing suit on and you really can't see what is happening. And so wear tiny underwear because you do want to try them on. The other thing is, don't wear socks and shoes when you try on your bathing suit. Take those off. In fact, I would recommend that you wear sandals when you go bathing suit shopping so that you aren't like, nobody looks cute in a bathing suit with shoes and socks on. Also, when you're looking for your suits and you're bringing them into the room, go up a size from what you're used to wearing. So if you're normally a 10, bring in a 12. If you're normally a 14, bring in a 16. You can bring in the size also that you think you are, but I really recommend, especially with bathing suits, they're supposed to fit snugger, but you don't want to be squeezed in. You want to be comfortable in your suit. And so please bring in a couple of sizes of each suit into the dressing room and just know that you're probably going to have to go up a size, and that's okay. Remember, nobody knows what size you are unless you tell them. And then the last little tip I have for you is, sometimes we forget to shave our legs. Sometimes we forget to paint our toes. Sometimes we look down and our legs are so milky white. And for those of you who have deep, beautiful bronze skin, that's amazing, but I don't. And so I know that if I put a little self-tanner on before I head to the store to find a bathing suit, I just look better when I put my bathing suit on. Try those tips, and now let's get into the styles that suit your particular body shape. All right, so general advice for bathing suit shopping when it comes to your size, your style, and your coloring. All right, so number one, and I'm not gonna number these, I'm just gonna say my first tip would be to make sure that you only take suits into the dressing room that are in your color, that's a flattering color to you. Just because it's a great looking suit and you're maybe a warm like me, and if it has pink flowers, that's a no-no, girlfriend. So you can't take that in. Now, can everybody wear a black bathing suit? Yeah, probably even the softs, but softs, I would say maybe even direct more like a chocolate brown, they're beautiful, or even a navy, which is beautiful. But I will tell you this, patterned bathing suits are actually more flattering on bodies that have a little bit of curves or a little bit of fluffiness, not curves so much, but fluffy. And so if you want to camouflage any part of your body that you feel maybe is a little too fluffy, then you can get a patterned bathing suit, and it really, really is a great thing for you. Another tip is go for a one piece. I really believe that one piece bathing suits are the most flattering on a person. Now, let's say that you like tankinis. Tankinis are fine too because they actually give the illusion of being a one piece, but they're actually a two piece. But here's the thing I love about tankinis is that a lot of times you can buy separates in bathing suits. And so you can get a bathing suit that has a bikini bottom, a boy short bottom, or a skirted bottom. And so based on your preference, you can get a tankini top that you like, and then maybe just a solid bottom and the two would work together. So please, I know places like most department stores, I also know Steinmart, I saw that last year when I went shopping for a bathing suit, but they had sections just for the bottoms. And so don't be afraid to mix and match bathing suits if they are sold that way. I love to go for more of a skirted, and they also have length. So you'll see the tinier ones and the longer ones. I like the longer ones because I'm tall. And so just take a couple of those skirted or whatever it is, boy shorts, whatever the bottoms are that you like, take them in the dressing room and try them with your tops. And I will give you this tip as well. I have often worn a skirted bottom over a one piece because I haven't been able to find like a cute tankini top. And so, but I found an awesome one piece, but I still wanted it to have like a little skirt. So I've bought one pieces and then added a skirt over top of it to give me a little more coverage. Dignity and modesty rule when you are looking for a bathing suit. And I would say steer clear of bikinis. And you know, it's just kind of my thing. And if you're a mom watching this for your daughters, that's got to be totally up to you. Those are the rules in your house. I just think for women who mostly are my audience, people like me, my age, right? And I just think that we look better in a one-piece bathing suit or a tankini. Even if we have the perfect body, I don't know that bikinis are all that great. So just want to kind of give you that. If you gain weight in your belly, then you want to get a bathing suit that has some spandex or lycra in it. You might want to pay a little more for your bathing suit because the more you pay for it, typically the better constructed it is. Also, this is where the pattern comes in seriously, because if you find a suit in the pattern and with the spandex, it's really gonna camouflage your tummy area. If you are somebody who doesn't have a waist, and so you just are straight up and down, and maybe you don't have a waist and you haven't seen your waist in a while, then a sheared bathing suit, maybe something that crosses over or has the illusion of a waist, maybe something that has a belt around it, maybe something that is a little bit higher, kind of like a maybe an empire style, but yet it has sort of that crossover sort of right around the middle. Anything like that that's going to bring the eye inward, maybe with some design on it. There are lots of suits that have like design that are really kind of crisscross. They give the illusion, well, it looks like an X. And you know, my body shape system, I go by BODX, and the X is the balance, shoulders and hips that are the same, indented waist. And so if you will have, or if you find a bathing suit that actually has that, like it's piping that's actually on it, girlfriend, go for that. It really is great. Or again, like a belt around it, it kind of just brings the eye to the middle. Or even any kind of little decoration or embellishment that's sort of in the middle, that's going to help as well. If you are small busted and you really don't want to show that you're small busted, and it's okay, girlfriend, if you're small busted, you're small busted. But if you want to camouflage that a little bit, then find a bathing suit that at the top of it has some maybe ruffles, or it's got some decorative sort of pieces. Maybe it's got some rings or some contrasting colors, or you could go for a top that has ruching on it, or you could get a top that has built-in padding. They have that as well. And again, be who you are. It's okay if you have a small bust line, but if you want to camouflage that, then that's a way to do that. Also, patterns work for you as well up top, because patterns do two things. Patterns actually minimize and they maximize. So if you're a smaller bust and you want to maximize, you wear a pattern. And if you want to minimize and you're a fuller bust, then you wear a pattern, because the eye of the onlooker can only go, well, it's going to go to you. But if you are large busted and you want to disguise that, or if you're small busted and you want to disguise that, then a pattern is a way to do that without the eye of the onlooker going first to your bust line. If you are a fuller busted gal, then support is key. You're going to want to go with something that has an underwire in it. And I'll tell you, underwires are not like underwires from the past. There are underwires now that are very comfortable, and it's not like feeling like you're in a cage, you know? But I would also recommend trying to go with a higher armhole, kind of an armhole, just that's up a little bit higher. That'll give you a little more support. And anything that is a pattern, again, will minimize if you choose, if you want to do that. But a V-neck is a really great neckline for you. And I know that V-necks are typically, they're going to be a lower, and that's okay. If you want to wear that, that's fine. We're at the pool, we're at the beach, and so it's not like you're out in public and you know, showing all your cleavage and that kind of thing. And so it's totally up to you, if you, however you want to do that. But just know that support is key, and that a V-neck is awesome, and a higher armhole is great for you for support. Maybe you have hips that you want to conceal. If that is the case for you, then a skirted suit is super for you. And I know I mentioned earlier that the skirted bottoms come in different lengths. In fact, 8 inches to 14 inches, I'm pretty sure. That's kind of standard. And they might even come a little bit smaller than that, shorter than that. But I would say that if you do gain in your hips and thighs and you're trying to conceal them, just know that you don't want your skirt to end just above the fullest part of your hips. You want it to be a little bit below that, because that will conceal it and make your figure look more like an X body shape. The other thing is, if you don't want a skirted suit, but you want, regular bathing suit, then go for a very high leg opening, because this will actually flatter your body. Since I'm on the subject of wide hips or wider hips, let's talk about the top part of your suit. Remember that when we're talking about body shapes, there are 4 that I always talk about: B, O, D, X. And a B gains in her belly, an O gains in her midriff and in bust line. A D is hips and thighs, derriere, and X is balanced. All right, so especially when we're in a bathing suit, if you are in X body shape, you want to make sure that when somebody looks at you, the eye doesn't go right to your hips. So in order to do that, what you want to do is you want to create an X-like look on top. So you want to make sure that the straps on top are wider. It can be like a V-neck that goes out here. It can be straight straps. What you don't want is a halter neck. If you get a halter neck, what happens with that is that it's actually going to make your hips look wider and you're going to look off balance. So make sure, if you gain in your hips, to balance that, we want to have straps that go outward on your shoulders. Now, what if you're on the other end and you have broad shoulders like me? Then halter tops are the very best thing that you can get for your swimsuit. What if your body is straight and narrow? Then you want to find a suit that has some curvy patterns to it, some maybe little details that sort of draw the eye around. You don't want to wear a solid suit, because it'll just make you look straighter and more narrow. And so in order to just add a little curve to your body, you want to do that by directing the eye in different places on your body. And so you do that with curves that are strategically placed on your swimsuit. What happens if you have a long body? Then you want to go for a lower neckline and lower leg eyes in your on the bathing suit. And so you don't want to do a super high leg hole, because if it is leg hole, leg eye, something like that, because if it is, it's gonna make your body look long, make your legs look super long. And so you want to go lower neckline, lower leg eye. All right. The other thing is, avoid vertical stripes. You can do horizontal, but please avoid vertical stripes and vertical designs of any kind. What if you're the opposite and you have a short torso? Well, if that's you, then you want to do the opposite. So you're going to go for a higher neckline and you're going to go for higher leg eyes, which are leg eyes are the opening of at the leg. And so you want to go higher on that. And you can do vertical stripes. That's a great design for you. And this way, it's going to just make you look taller and longer. What if you're a curvy girl or plus size? Well, you want to make sure that you find a suit that has 15 to 20% lycra in it to kind of hold you in a little better. But I love a curvy girl in bold prints. So go for the bold print. I definitely pattern. I think that's going to be better for you. So go for a pattern, but don't shy away from bolder prints, because hey girl, just get out there and be you. Now here's one that I hear a lot from people, especially as we're coming into summer, and not just with suits, but with shirts, even shirts in general. Sherry, I have heavy arms. What am I going to do with my heavy arms? I don't want to show my heavy arms. Oh, friend, it's okay. Here's the thing. If you have heavy arms, you have heavy arms and nobody's really looking at your arms. However, if you want to shift the attention away from your arms, then think about what kind of decorations that you can do near the neckline. So maybe some ruching, maybe some, some just interesting details that might be added to the suit. So basically what we're doing is we're shifting the eye from out, we're shifting the eye in. Also, a V-neck is going to be much better for you than a straight suit that goes straight across. We want to have something that always brings the eye right here. All right. And then if you are wearing a cover up, we'll talk about cover ups in a minute, but if you're getting a cover up and you really don't like the way your arms look, then get something that's sheer because it's hot. You don't want to have something that's like super, it's going to burn you up, but get something. They have lots of suits that are sheer. They're not just sleeveless, but they have a sheer covering and they just kind of go a little bit longer, and you'll see mine. I'm going to show you my cover up in just a minute. So let's go ahead and talk about cover-ups right now. I think the accessories are super important when you are choosing your swimwear capsule, let's say. So you would need a swimsuit. Then you would need your little sandals that you're going to wear to the beach or the pool, right? I love metallic sandals because whether they're gold or silver, whatever works best for you and your coloring, copper or something like that, or you get a colorful pair that has like seashells and things on them. But I also believe that you need a hat, and I brought my hat down right here. I think a sun hat is super important because you want to keep the sun off of you, and then your cover up. And so there are beautiful cover ups out there. I would use the cover up. When you're shopping for a cover up, think beautiful, think gorgeous. Don't just get a t-shirt as your cover up. Don't just get like a plain, just something easy to throw over. You want it to be easy, but think elegance. You are projecting an image even when you go to the beach or the pool. And if you have to get up and you're going to walk to the snack bar or you're going to do something, you can throw your beautiful cover up on. And it's just such a great add-on to your wardrobe, your swimwear wardrobe. And of course, you're going to need a great pair of sunglasses, and you're going to need your sunscreen because you don't want to go out in the sun without your sunscreen on. All right, so I am not brave enough to get on YouTube in my bathing suit. However, I am going to show you my cover up.